Hello, team. Welcome to another weekly sales meeting. We've got a very, very strong lineup and a lot to cover today. I want to get started by talking about our new 0% down payment program. Obviously, this rolled out last week, but it officially goes live in our pricing engine today. So Home Zero, that is, this is a program that is nationwide. Obviously, there's two different options here when it comes to whether the down payment assistance is repayable or not. The key here, and this is really the most important thing for us, is it's the marketability of the product. And really, for us at this point with what's going on in the market, there's going to be a lot of different things that come out. A lot of, we're going to get back into 2-1 buy down. We're going to get back into cash, payment program. Like there's a lot of things in the pipeline. But those are things that a lot of people have. Our focus is making sure that we are marketing our products in an effective way. It's one thing to put it out there to an agent. It's another thing to be able to present this consistently to our partners on a regular basis. So we've got 1% down payment. We've got a 0 down payment program. These are conversation starters. These are the things that matter. There's a lot of people that are going to come off the sideline because of the fact they see a 0 down payment program. Whether buying now or buying later, it's going to attract consumers. It's going to attract real estate agents. So make sure you're doing your best to get this in front of our partners, get this in front of our financial planners, and make it available to as many people as possible. So that's number one, just a key reminder you should see in the pricing engine today. We've been working on with Arrive to get it to go live. So look out for that. If you have any issues, please reach out to the Lock Desk. Next thing, I want to talk about the next 12 months. And this is really, we're at the point in our market cycle. And I sent a message to the entire organization earlier today. And it's a really important message. It's important that we all understand what's at stake here, but we also understand how fragile the market is. CNBC came out earlier today. Mortgage applications reached a 28-year low this past week. So that's going to continue to go down. I mean, it's going to continue to worsen. We're going to have a new low here many, many times between now and January. It's just a reality of the market. This is where rates are at, which means affordability is challenging, which means a lot of people are going to get on the sidelines, which means, a lot less inventory. And ultimately, what does that mean? A lot of people are going to get out of the mortgage industry. We've seen in the last 2 years alone, almost 40% of all LOs that were licensed in 2021 have left the mortgage industry. That number is going to increase here over the next 6 months. It's the same thing with real estate agents. So opportunity knocks. The companies and the people that dominate the next 12 months will win the next 10 years. This is the same exact thing that happened in 2010, 2011. The companies that after the financial crisis emerged and dominated that 12 to 24 month window when new regulation came in, when stability came back to the market, those are the companies that today became the market share leaders. Those are the companies that have been dominating for the last 10 years. So you think about the Rockets, like they dominated with HARP, who's been, top of the game these past couple of years. You think about the guaranteed rates. You think about the UWMs. Like those are the companies that emerged post-housing crisis, seized the opportunity, and dominate the next decade. We're in an exact same moment right now with the next 12 months. And that goes down to the loan originator level. But guys, like at the end of the day, the market share is up for grabs. I'm talking to the top LOs across the country, and they have never seen a bigger shift in who the top agents are in their market, who the participants are that are winning the market at this time, meaning who the buyer's agents, and the LOs that are working with those buyer's agents. We are seeing a massive change of landscape. And the question is, are we going to be one of those companies that after 12 months emerges and dominates the next 10 years? Or are we going to be one of those companies that watched other people emerge and dominate? Same thing in our local markets. Who's it going to be? It's up to us. It's up to us to win the market right now. So obviously we're going to do what it takes. But we as a team need to make sure we're doing what we need to do to win. The sales coaching is one part of it. Showing up is one part of it. The sales activity is another part of it. But at the end of the day, it's like we can't go through the motions. We can't just, kind of like hope things are going to happen. Hope is not a strategy. We have to make it happen. I'm going to hit the road starting tomorrow from a recruiting perspective. Same exact thing, guys. Like I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get in front of the right partners. We're going to talk a lot about partnership here, as far as, how to win the market here going into the next 12 months when it comes to relationships. So like my thought process is the market share leader is the companies that have the most relationships that create referrals, create transactions. It's not the company with the most transactions. At the end of the day, 2 years ago, who had the most transactions? Rocket, okay? They don't have the most relationships in this market. And guess what? they're not leading the market anymore. They're not in they're in a refi market, they dominate. In this market, they're not dominating, okay? Because they're not a relationship company, they're a transaction company, they're a refinance company. That's the opportunity. Everything in our local markets is all about relationships. How many agents are sourcing business to you? How many agents are you connecting with on a weekly and monthly basis? I talked to a top LO in the country. He has 200 different agents that sent him more than one transaction in the last 12 months. 200 that sent one or more. That's unbelievable. That's an unbelievable number. And especially in this market, like think about how many agents are even doing 2 transactions. So it's a reflection of developing relationships over a long period of time, but that's also a reflection of, in this market, staying top of mind and spending all of that person's time in the offices of the agents, on the road, in the open houses, doing what it takes to be front and center. It's being available right now. So, the name of the game is most relationships. If we're sitting in a situation where we're relying on 5 to 10 people, 5 to 10 agents to drive our business, to be a productive loan officer, that's not enough. And that's got to be the focus. I had a conversation with one of our teams yesterday, and we're talking about the things that we need to do to win it. And at one point in the conversation, they were talking about like advertising and all these different things, which are great things over time that we can do. But that's not how you win today. I explained it to them very quickly. I said, guys, the key to winning is phone. My phone, okay? That's all I need to win. I don't need marketing. I don't need recruiting. I don't need anybody to help me. I just need a phone, okay? If I can get a person on the phone, if I can text a person, that's going to be my key to success. Same thing with you. We need to call agents. We need to be in front of agents. We need to be in front of people in our sphere. By the way, not just agents. Every single person. We're going to do a power hour on Friday. We're going to spend an hour calling our top 25 contacts. Call your friends. Call the people that that just recently bought a house, that your past customers. Like, it's all about having interactions where we're talking about our business. We're talking about, hey, listen, our whole business model is focused on great client experience plus 95 NPS, but also lowest and cheapest rates. In order for us to do that, there's got to be sacrifices. We don't have our name on a stadium. We just deliver a great experience, and we rely on referrals from our past customers. Ask for referrals. A prime example, I had an LO that sends an email out on Monday afternoon. All they say is, how was your weekend? Just checking on you. Do you have any loans for me? Do you have any referrals for me? That message alone, it's actually an automated message they send out. That message alone gets them 30 to 40 responses. It's the simple things, but we got to stay top of mind. We got to be on the prowl. We have to wrangle for deals today. So that's going to be the focus here, guys, is at the end of the day, relationships create transactions, and relationships is the game. Whoever wins the relationship game will dominate the next 10 years. And that is what it's all about. So last thing here before we hand it off is I just want to give a quick shout out and just overall recognition is Sam Abazari, Tyler Hodgson, leading our sales development and coaching. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes, and even I don't recognize these guys enough. They're putting in hours at night and the weekends, watching the coaching tapes, giving feedback to the coaches, putting the curriculum together, making sure the sales at dashboards are all updated as far as the data for our sales activities, our leads, our loans. So I just want to give those guys a big shout out because they've been putting in the work. They do everything they already have to do to be a great producer, to support their existing teams, support their sales division, be great members of their families. And then on top of that, they're doing this to help the company, help our team get better every single day. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for everything you do. I'm going to hand it off to Andrew Cady, and I'll be back shortly.
Hey everyone, it's Andrew Cady with the Epic Mortgage team here in Florida. Today, I want to talk about open houses, this right here. To me, it's one of the key ways I built my business. And to this day, I still think it is one of the best ways to get face-to-face with real estate agents in your local market. So first and foremost, how do you find open houses? It's honestly very, very simple. If you go to Zillow, one of the features you can turn on under more options when you're looking at homes for sale is that it must have an open house. And what I do is I typically will Thursday or Friday, I'll spend some time building out a list of open houses that are in my market, in my general area. What I do is just hop in Excel, put the property address, the listing agent's name, their brokerage, the starting time and the ending time of that open house. Build out a list of 10, maybe 15 of them for a weekend, and then start to map out which ones are the best ones to get to at a particular time. A lot of times you'll find single neighborhoods will have 2 to 3, 4, 5 open houses all at the same time. And agents will do this intentionally. So they don't just have buyers driving to one open house. It's going to draw a larger crowd if there's more than one home they can see. So a lot of times it makes it very, very easy for you. Once you get into that open house, for me, I like to be very raw and real. I don't like to go in there and pretend that I'm a buyer. Some people like to play that game. For me, I don't want deception to be my opening trait. I walk in and the very first thing I say is, hey, sorry, I'm not here to buy the home. I'm a local mortgage lender. I like to work my Saturdays and Sundays getting out in my local market to understand the homes that are available. How long has this home been on the market? And then I immediately break into conversation about the individual property. I want to know details about that property. You know, how many square feet is it? What's the price per square foot? Ask them if they think they're going to get a full price offer. Are there any seller concessions? Seller concessions is a big one that I like to capitalize on because, yes, we got seller concessions. Are you familiar with the 2-1 buy down? It's a great entry in to explain a product that most real estate agents have no idea. Now, go out, you visit 8 to 10 open houses. That is not going to get you business if your follow up game is poor. That is going to be the key to the business. For me, I like to immediately shoot a Loom video, bomb, whatever your software is, shoot a video and thank them for the opportunity to meet them. That is, to me, it's something that no one else is doing. So I don't care if it's that afternoon, that evening, the following day, or just from your car when you walk back outside. Shoot them a text message, say, hey, it was such a great, shoot a quick Loom video. Hey, it was such a great opportunity to meet you today. If you ever need anything, my team and I are available. Just be thankful and be grateful that they allowed you in and didn't kick you out the door. And then from there, your goal is to get face-to-face meetings. See if you can connect with them and buy lunch, buy breakfast, buy coffee, buy an afternoon happy hour, get together. To me, that is when the selling portion of the business should happen, not at the open house. The open house for me is all about building that initial relationship. It's a connection. We're talking about our local market, how things are going for them, how their business is this year. The sales portion of it, that needs to happen at a later date when you get together over coffee or over lunch. Then you can sit down and talk about some of the options you have available, some of the services you provide that puts you on a different level. Now, my call to action for you is to get out and go to open houses. When I got into the industry, I went to over 700 open houses in my first 6 months. There's a huge thing you'll get out of that. First and foremost, when you go to a networking event, a month or 2, 3 months of doing this, you're not the odd loan officer in the room that doesn't know anybody. You're going to have 10, 20, 30, 50 friendly faces at these networking events from people you've met in the past. That is the biggest win from it, is you're no longer the stranger. Get out, get into your open market, into your open houses in your local market, and go get some business in this particular market.
Hey guys, Patrick Stoy here with MC Mortgage Group, powered by UMortgage in Wilmington, North Carolina. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I want to talk today about how I stay current with the market and the loan products. The most important thing that I look at every day is what's going on with the 10-year Treasury and also what's going on with the MBS Highway. Super important there. I also listen to Sean Grapevine and Austin Koenig on the Monday market update just to kind of get an idea of what's going on with the industry. The other thing that I always want to make sure that I'm doing is Tuesday through Friday is that I am listening to Rob Piccolo and understand what is going on during the market minutes. So super important to kind of know what is going on with the data, because that way I basically know how to translate this information to my borrowers in a way that they will understand, not using the jargon that we know, because needless to say, we can have people look like deer in headlights if we start spitting out everything that we know in our industry. We have to be able to not say dumb it down, but just make it to where it's now relatable, that they can understand it, of what's going on with the market, what's causing the market to do things. You know, what does the Fed have to do with anything? What does the CPI have to do anything? What does the producer price index have to do anything? So basically taking that information and using that to strategically plan on how I'm going to handle my conversations with my partners and my borrowers. Super important. Other than that, the only thing that I would challenge you to do every day, it's super important, is get up, see what's going on with the market, look at workplace to make sure you're most up to date on everything that's happening in the industry. Super important. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.
Hello, UMortgage team. Dave Higgins, VP of Business Innovation, and here to talk a little bit about the fact that we are reaching the end of a bit of an era here at UMortgage, and that is the fact that the 1.62, the Operations 1.62 project is coming to a close. We're going to actually end it. Our work with the 1.62 product is actually going to end on August 31st. So come September 1st, the entire team is going to be disbanded. We're going to dissolve, and we're going to go back to other things that we were working on prior to pulling the product together. But for those of you that maybe aren't super familiar with what 1.62 was or is, or need a little bit of a refresher, we started with this project all the way back in the middle of May with the idea of let's bring certainty, let's bring accountability to the borrower's experience, to the LO experience, to the operation experience, from the point where a loan first comes into our operations team all the way through CTC. And now we have gone through 7 different phases of this project, and we're entering the 8th and final phase, which is the hard launch of the 1.62 process changes that we've made. So everything that we've done, everything we've worked on for the past 3 months, this is our operations flow now. You're not going to hear the word 1.62 flow anymore. This is just our operations flow. This is just how we operate as a team. So what have we done? What have we done going all the way back to May? Well, a couple of big wins. First off, we have a dedicated LQ team now, loan quality team, to make sure people are checking files and doing the things that they're supposed to on files. We have submission checkpoints in place now to make sure that when files come in to our operations team, they come in clean and they're able to move through our operations flow faster than ever before. We've created cadenced updates on files, so your borrowers are now getting consistent cadenced updates every other business day on their files. And most importantly, notes or it didn't happen, right? We got to make sure that we are communicating with one another and letting each other know what's going on within those files. So big wins that we've seen throughout all of this is the fact that our NPS scores overall, comparatively from the world we're in now compared to what we used to be, our NPS scores are up across the board, which is wonderful news, fantastic news from our borrowers, from our LOs, for our operations teams. NPS is up, which is great. So a big thanks, huge thanks to the entire 1.62 project team. They did a fantastic job taking in feedback, making sure that we heard you all. But I want to give a special thanks, a special shout out to our LO partners who provided the 1.62 project team with great, constructive, solutions-focused feedback. So especially guys like Jay Bunty, Ravi Patel, Ian Twaddle, Jimmy Hobson, Brian Cardenas, and especially 2 guys who were part of the 162 team who advocated for LOs and made sure that we were taking in your feedback and thinking like you all did. And that's specifically Scott Hong and Kyle Kohler. So a big thanks especially to those 2. So in the future, if anybody has additional suggestions for enhancements that you want to make to our operations workflows, because remember, we're not calling it 162 anymore, it's just the way our operation workflow works now. But if you have additional suggestions for enhancements, or you have feedback on how we can further improve, you've got 3 ways in which you can provide that feedback to us. First, share that feedback with your branch manager. You can also go directly to your operations leadership team, and we also encourage you to put that into the weekly report up so that we can take that in and we can make further enhancements to the process going forward. Thanks to everybody for providing your feedback, for talking with us, letting us know how to make the process the best that it possibly could be, and really looking forward to where we're going to take it all from here going forward.
Hey guys, Jimmy Hobson out of the great state of Utah. I'm one of the branch leaders here with UMortgage. One of the things they've asked me to talk about here on the sales meeting is about branding and becoming an expert in your craft. Now, a lot of people know me throughout Utah and throughout the country as an expert in VA lending. How that began was very simple. When I started doing loans, I had a special passion and affinity for VA lending. So I found all the education I could to do so. I joined Military Mortgage Boot Camp, went through all their training, got certified to be that. Certified to be an instructor. Then I joined VA, started moderating online, started actually answering questions every single day that veterans and their spouses had about buying houses, and therefore I became better because I literally needed to know the guides, frontward and backward, okay? Once I knew that and had that knowledge, what I did was focus on getting the word out. So I taught local CE classes for VA lending. I post all the time on my socials about VA home loans, why the VA loan is the best, why the VA appraisal process has 2 built-in ways, obviously, to give value, whether it be Tidewater or reconsideration of value. So those are the biggest things. That's also the same way I maintain business. Number 1, I do a great job when I close a loan. And all my veterans and their spouses tell their friends, and it kind of rolls in perpetuity. In a time where business is tight, I've actually built, in a lot of ways, a recession-proof business. Now, I'm not pretending that my business is the same as it was in 2021, but because I'm known locally as one of the VA experts, if not the VA expert, I get a lot of referrals because of that. So what I try to do is study every single day. I read the VA circulars. I study up. I've actually joined Venture Mortgage Advisors so I can study their course. I don't think you can ever have enough knowledge to be great. I've got friends that are lenders throughout the country that I consider way better than me. So when I have questions, I call them because you know what? There's things that people have seen that I haven't seen. So that's the biggest thing. And my biggest advice to you is if you have a niche that you love, focus on it. Study the guides. Go to the trainings. Do all the things that you need to do to get better. You know, we talk about part of UMortgage is get better every day. That really is a thing. Yesterday morning, I taught a class to our branch and people outside the branch about how to qualify a VA borrower. It's not the same as a conventional loan. So we want to make sure that we're always the best at what we do because frankly, at the end of the day, that's what separates us. I want someone to have the same experience, whether they have a 580 credit score or a 750 credit score. We need to know the nuance of this loan product to get through. Now, mind you, I still do 50% or more loans that are conventional FHA, USDA, jumbo, but VA really is my niche. And so by learning and growing, I swallowed that loan whole and just kept going and learned it. And the more loans you do, the more nuance you see, the better you get. My advice always, no matter what you're doing in this craft, if you're a mortgage broker, mortgage lender, banker, whatever you do, my advice is to dive into the products. Learn the products. Learn how to read AUS when it comes to DU and LP. Learn the nuances of that. Learn residual value with VA. Those are the things that are going to make you great. There's a lot of pretenders out there. A lot of people that think they know. A lot of them work in cubicles for big companies throughout the country. Be better than that. Learn your craft. As lenders, we need to know more. We've got to protect that $1,000 earnest money with our life. That could be, if someone makes 40 grand a year, $1,000 is a ton of money. Make sure you do what's right by your clients. So that's why I brand myself as a VA expert. I share the knowledge. I went to a meeting last week. The guy's like, I've never met the guy. We're friends on Facebook. He's like, hey, it's the VA guy. They know. I put myself out there that they can ask me any question, whether I'm doing the loan or not. Always, always, always provide that education. Educate your partners, educate the public. Do what you can to be the best. Frankly, the more loans you do, the better you get, the better it'll be for everybody. Have an amazing day.
Jimmy, and great message across the board here today. So I just want to close out with a couple things here. Number one, I sent a message out to everybody this morning talking about, it's not my job mentality and really like our mindset of it is our job. And more than anything, what is our job right now more than ever is understanding that like right now it's market's challenging. And we're getting to the point where this is going to be the hardest part of this cycle. It's in front of us. The next 6 months are truly going to be that most challenging period of time. So, what I want everybody to have, the mindset of is we need to be looking at every single interaction, every referral, every relationship, every loan as an opportunity. And I really want us to understand what that opportunity is. I'm spending a lot of time with, our business support team talking through how we're interacting with, whether it's LOs that are coming to UMortgage that are interested in joining the company, onboarding experiences, or just team members on a day-to-day basis. And the important thing here is to be able to sit there and say, there's an opportunity in everything we do to give value. If we're going into what we're doing, looking for an outcome, if we're focused on the outcome, if we're sitting there saying, hey, my goal is I'm a recruiter, my goal is to get the person on board, or this is a borrower, I'm a loan officer, I want to just get the loan, or this is a realtor, I just want to get a referral from them. Like, if you're focused on that outcome, I can assure you they feel it. People can feel people that are trying to sell them something, that want something from them. There's a major difference when you're going into a relationship or communication with the focus on giving. I'm here to support you. I'm here to add value to you. So mindset is, it's our job, all of our jobs, okay, to give value, to advocate on behalf of our platform. Best client experience, plus 95 NPS, lowest cost, lowest rates, best local mortgage experts, okay? Why isn't every home buyer doing a loan with UMortgage, with a UMortgage loan officer? Because they simply haven't been referred to one. So we've got 500 team members. There's 500 people that can make a contribution this quarter. If we get one referral per team member for somebody that's looking to buy a home, somebody that's looking to refinance a home, a real estate agent that they know that's not working with the UMortgage LO on an introduction, if everybody makes that one contribution, I can assure you, we are in a position where we're growing by 50% quarter over quarter. It's that simple. We can control our controllables. We got to listen. We have to communicate. We have to identify these opportunities. And if we don't know how, if we can't like really wrap our heads around it, let's talk to somebody within our company. But the one thing that can't happen is we can't be complacent, and we can't think things are just going to work themselves out. Market's tightening. Applications are declining across the industry. Inventory is shrinking. We've got to do more. We've got to create opportunities. We have to find opportunities, and we have to build new relationships. That's what it takes to win. All of us have to play a role in it. And just so you understand, the barista at the Starbucks, the Uber driver, the coach of my kids' softball team, whoever these people are that we interact with, they are all potential referral sources for our business or potential clients. It's all about creating an experience where we're talking about what we're doing, we're proud of what we're doing, and we are the kind of person that people want to do business with because we're trusting. So have a great rest of the day. Thank you, everybody, for your contributions today on the weekly sales meeting. Talk to you soon.